I've been video game hunting for about 3 years now. I was originally based out in Fargo, North Dakota, but I recently moved out here to the Springs, where I've been hunting down deals for about the past year and a half. People always ask me, is it dangerous out here? Do you like what you do? And I always tell them to give it a try at least once if you haven't yet. I mean, I wouldn't change anything for the world. I love what I do. I love hunting. I love finding deals.
GameCube bundle, north side of Colorado Springs. This guy's asking $80.
Okay, so a deal like this comes up every once in a while, and I'm always on my way there quick. Typically, everything's pretty safe. That's why I always strap up with one of these babies right here, a GoPro. But you never really know what's going to happen. Just arriving at the residence now. Possible GameCube bundle, $80, code 16.
Yeah, you should be running towards the other unit.
GameCube. There's the GameCube stuff.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guy had $80 worth of stuff on him. This is typically what you see out on the streets. NES console itself probably doesn't even work. GameCube with 2 memory cards, that's actually pretty solid. This one's platinum, might work. Couple cheap things, only worth around $5 each. A Sega Genesis Mini and an Atari. Now this is a little bit more of where the money comes from. The street value of these has risen drastically as of late. Future Tactics for the GameCube. Sonic DX, that's a pretty good one. Spider-Man, can't beat that. That's always a high price game, especially after the new movie came out a while back. Zelda Wind Waker, something you're definitely going to want to be on the lookout for. The street value of this has been scary lately. These babies push a pretty high price. Not usually what I find, but something like this can push some hard cash down here. Overall, for $80, this is what you'd expect to see. I'm not surprised to see something like this for $80. What these guys can flip these for on the streets these days, it's not pretty. A little bit of a trade turn sale here, guys. Man went ahead and sent me an offer on my Xbox Series S trade post, and he actually had a few items that I'm definitely interested in. He had a Switch Lite, a Game Boy Advance, and games. Now, it wasn't quite enough for a trade, so I let him know, and he said, okay. Now, 5 minutes later, my man went ahead and posted his stuff on Facebook Marketplace for sale, with some alright prices nonetheless, but he was charging $5 per game that he sent. I think he was asking $150 for the Switch Lite and $75 for each Game Boy, but $5 a pop for the games is something that I can get on board with. So I hit him back up. I said, you're looking for cash? I got cash. How much cash you want? My man said $80 for all the games. There's around 15 games here. Definitely worth $80. Stay tuned, brothers. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. At 80. Let's check it out. Sweet. Okay, thanks again. Alright guys, just picked up the Game Boy games. We got about 15, 20 of them. Zelda, Mario, and some random ones that have some good value. $80 in, but check this out. I hopped on Facebook Marketplace and I saw this lot of vintage wrestling action figures for 15 buckers. Now, I don't dabble in action figures or vintage toys that often, but when I saw these, they reminded me of my childhood. I looked one of them up and Andre the Giant alone goes for 15 smackers. Anyways, I'm hoping for big profits on this one here, guys. Let's go!
Up quick on those.
Oh yeah. I was actually wondering if you were like planning on selling any other old video games or anything like that. Just a shot in the dark while I'm here.
Video games. What are you looking for?
Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Wii, stuff like that. Anything in the older stuff, cartridge based mainly.
So I have a whole Nintendo system.
Oh, okay.
Original Nintendo.
Do you have games?
I do.
Do you mind if I check it out?
Sure.
Cool, let's check it out.
I got these, and then again, I have the whole system.
Sweet, how much would you want?
I don't even know what's fair.
$60?
75, and you can take it all.
75. Let me grab some cash from my car. Sweet, this is awesome. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Strong on this one, brothers. For real, started off as a $15 buy and turned into a $90 haul. We got original Nintendo. Guys, I always take the chance and ask for more. Let's take this back home and check it out. A series of fortunate events. Right after I got lucky and scored that NES bundle, I hopped over to Goodwill. I went inside and checked in the glass case. I noticed a few small dollar games, but I saw one that was sealed, and I always look at games that are sealed, even if they're PC. So before I get into this haul right here, I would feel remiss if I didn't get into the Goodwill scoop.
gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Spent about 25 bucks on these 3 hitters. Super Mario Bros. Wii, fully complete. I usually don't pick this one up because it's always scratched to death, but this one is mint. Super Mario Galaxy, solid deal for 8 bucks, but the manual is looking a little bunk. Nevertheless, the disc itself is nice and new. But I checked out the sealed game. It was Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Now this game pre-owned goes for 45, 50 bucks, so in a sealed condition like this, it's bonkers. Has to be around 100 bucks plus on that game alone, so this is a solid Goodwill scoop. Anyways, earlier in the day, I had a guy message me about one of my trade posts. For real, one solid deal for 80 bucks on this Game Boy bundle. We got Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man in the house. Dude's copy of Tetris matched up with Tetris DX and 2 copies of Bust a Move, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe with Super Mario Land 2. Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Land 2 with Zelda and Zelda DX to match with the crew. It's beautiful to see families reunite, am I right? Cat Rap, a game I haven't heard of before with Pokemon Red, no label. Finally, Terminator 2 and Krusty's Funhouse. A solid lot for 80 bucks. Guys, that's a little tip right there. When people make you messages on your trade post, don't forget you can offer them cash as well. So I pick up this Game Boy lot and I hop on Facebook Marketplace because I'm in and out. And I see this listing right here. Now, I don't usually dabble in the vintage toy business, but watching Retro Rick and Retro World, I know that there's value to be held. So I message the guy and I hop over to this place because 15 bucks for a lot of vintage wrestling figures is pretty good. Now, I know that some of the rare ones right here are going to be Hulk Hogan, which is worth around 15, 20 bucks. Same with Andre the Giant and Macho Man. But the rest of them, I'm a little bit blurry on their names. Guys, if you know anything about these figures, comment down below. I want to know which ones have a little bit of value to them. Anyways, this was a really sick find, but what came next surprised me. I went ahead and asked my man, hey, you got any video games? And he looked me dead in the skull and said, you like Nintendo, buddy? Lo and behold, the power of the ask stays true. Nice lot of NES and the NES system itself. Short negotiation, I made him an offer of 60 bucks for the lot. He countered with 75. I said, I'll take it. Solid games in this lot, guys. These ones right here are gonna be a little bit more of the filler titles. But again, guys, I'm not a perfect genius on NES, so let me know if I'm missing something here that has a nice amount of value to it. I know that this is an SNK game. I didn't look up this one yet. Nevertheless, you can't go wrong with a good TMNT game. But moving on yonder, of course you gotta get that Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. A deuce pair of these. At this point, guys, I gotta have around 30 copies of this game. Super Mario Bros. 2 and Super Mario Bros. 3. This is the left bros, so that's definitely a little bit of a bonus. We got Zelda Gold cartridge. Again, I get this one a lot as well, but I'm not complaining about that one. It's about a $20, $30 pump. Finally, Kirby's Adventure. Now this one pushes around 30 bucks, so that's a solid little find in and a solid game nonetheless. And finally, we got the NES system. Of course, it's probably not gonna work. The pins are gonna need to be replaced, but we got 2 controllers on top. And finally, an orange zapper to cap everything off. Very awesome back-to-back hauls, but I'm suddenly feeling like wrestling down another deal. So let's keep hunting. Huge fall home clear out. Now what does that mean, you ask me? Well, it begs one question, and that's what are you clearing out exactly? So I shot him a message, said, you clearing out any games by chance? And my man sends me this big boy NES lot. I said, how much you asking? He said, make offer. I said, 100 bucks. We boxed back and forth, 250, 150, and we landed on 200, which is a solid deal. Really excited to pick it up. Let's get it.
Hey, how's it going? Let's check it out. That's so cool. You have the original box.
I found one additional game too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, the RC.
The Pro-Am? Cool. Pretty good condition too. Wow. And the Legos. Did you find those?
Well, I have a handful. I'll show you. The whole thing for 60 bucks. Maybe you can find some value in some of it there.
It's a lot of cool stuff in here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, 60. All right, cool. Thanks again.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Really solid deal. Walked into that lot expecting to get an NES system right here for 200 bucks. But on top of the NES, I actually ended up spending 60 more bucks for Legos. Took a page out of Matt Cart's book. He's the Lego king. Guys, comment down below if you see anything worth some value here. I'm gonna pull out some of the good ones. A couple boats in here, a few flying contraptions. Of course, there's a solid amount of figures in this lot as well. Fire station stuff, fire truck. Guys, again, I don't know what I'm doing here. But anytime I get a chance to experiment with something for 60 $15, I'll take the lesson. There's more in the boxes as well, including a lot of figures. There's a bunch of new stuff in this bag right here that I'm not too sure about. Lots of stuff to go through, and I know there's some guaranteed profit. Now onto this NES bundle. Nintendo NES action set. We got the Zapper included, complete box, beautiful shape. I honestly believe I have not come across a complete in box NES set yet. So this is a newbie for the channel right here. Are you ready to experience the ultimate in video game entertainment? NES system, Zapper, cords. This baby's complete, and the styrofoam is actually in pretty good condition. Both the controllers stocked up nice and tightly. Little bit of a crack right there. That's a little iffy. I don't know about that. Also got a little bit of the paperwork right here. So this is actually a really cool piece. Definitely want to keep it for the collection, and I just might. I mean, how often do you come across complete in box Nintendo? Hey, I'm gonna need that rent soon here.
I thought that was like a next week.
No, that's a this week sort of thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't pay rent last month because you wanted to keep your video games, so either pay rent or get out. Looks like I ain't paying rent this month. You know what else I never come across? That's complete in box NES games. My man had them, baby. So 3 NES games with the box, and then 5 cartridges right here. Super Mario Bros. 2 Pro-Am. Always got to get a copy of Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. This one actually comes included with the box. And then a good old TMNT game. Again, $200 for everything. We got Rat Racer 2 complete in box. This one's not worth too much cash, but still solid to see. Spy Hunter complete in box for the NES. Now the comps for this one range anywhere from $50 to $100, which surprised me bigly. This specific type of seal might not be worth as much as this type of seal right here, but I could be wrong, so comment down below if I am. Now the best in the lot is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. If you know this channel, you know that Zelda and me have quite a bit of a bond. So when I saw this in the initial pictures he sent me, I flipped out hard. Now upon closer examination, she is torn up real bad. So that's kind of terrible, but the front display's beautiful. I've actually never come across a complete box Zelda 2, so that one's definitely staying in the collection. And for how much this baby right here is worth, along with Spy Hunter and the complete box NES, we're sitting pretty fat right here. Again, guys, if you have any information on those Legos right there, let me know down below. When it comes to Legos, am I a dunce or a dude? Bingo bongo, the NES strikes again. Someone gone down and messaged me on my Xbox Series S trade post. Now, they're not looking for the Xbox Series S, they're looking to sell. She sent me this photo right here, a bunch of NES games. Some of them are hitters. We get to talking, I'm asking how much she wants. She flat out says 120. Now, guys, there's a game in here worth $120 itself. So when she tossed out that offer, I hopped on my horse and started galloping.
Hey, how's it going? Let's check it out.
No, I'll admit the bottom part on that is broken,
Okay.
but
Deeply apologize for the video cutting off the flow. The battery died on the GoPro, but let's get back to this show and see some Nintendo. Nintendo console toaster right here. No cords or controllers, unfortunately. If anything, it just needs a new 30. What's in the drawer? The original 2-drawer storage space for NES right here. On the top, you have a space for the Zapper, the controllers, but in the bottom lies the grails. This drawer right here is filled to the max with NES staples, a lot of which aren't worth too much cash. They're sitting below $20, but there's 3 games in here that take the cake. Conquest of the Crystal Palace. I've actually never heard of this game before. It's an ASMIK game, but it pushes $40, so it's solid to see. Talk about hitters, Shatterhand. Coming in at $90 on average, this hitter pushes some big cash. But nothing beats the last holy grail in this lot right here. SCAT, Special Cybernetic Attack Team. A Natsumi game. Guys, let me know down below if I should keep this Blockbuster video sticker on it. But I feel like that adds a lot to the value. I also saw it on Power Blade right here. Ren Code H with the Blockbuster sticker. This game also pushes a little bit of money. Last time I checked, this powerful cartridge cut out the 90s and took over the hundreds with its blade. So these two alone are really hard games to find amongst a number of other really cool games. Super Contra, Friday the 13th, Ninja Gaiden, Bad Dude, To the Earth, and can't have an NES lot without a good old solid Capcom game. Street Fighter 2010, baby. Overall, a really sick pickup for 120 bucks. Back-to-back really solid NES scores, and if you bring it all together, you get something that is just some type of beautiful. Guys, let me know. What's your favorite piece in this NES collection right here? Is it the NES Action Set Complete in Box? Is it the beautiful 2-drawer NES storage system right here? Or maybe you're a Zelda fan like me. Cheers to the good fortune the NES has brought us this time around. And cheers to you guys for letting me showcase some of these solid finds on this channel. Up to 10,000 subscribers we go.